Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latiners Network, ready to go over all the shows, streamings, documentaries released on streaming over the past week. Of course, give you best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, as always, at the end of the show, giving you a couple weeks worth of upcoming releases so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy, what it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What's going on, brother? Happy Mother's Day. Not to you, of course.
Not to me, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. There's many gifts I'm sure we'll be getting, lunches, brunches, restaurants packed, flowers getting sold by the droves, and maybe some shows for her to watch. I don't know. Maybe
Expensive
not.
flowers. Expensive flowers.
Expensive flowers, yeah, jacking the prices, 10 times its value. Dumb bastards. Really think they are trying to make money. The nerve. That all said, wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, but I know there's one mother is going to be very, very, very sad, which brings us to a quick in memoriam. We've been remiss not to mention our grief over the loss of a favorite silent killer, if you will, Black Noir. For the second time, went the way to Dodo, of course, in The Boys. He got a little bit in too deep. And he paid the price. So, yet another one on the hit list. 2 episodes left, of course, of The Boys, and he won't be the last. Pretty much not much, for sure. But again, we'll talk about that in a few weeks. We will not be here next week. We'll be a little busy here. We got some graduations. Congratulations to little Richard, graduated, of course, Chewy's son from college. Very exciting, and his daughter's up next, high school, so we'll be there for that. So we'll be back in
Rent
2
is
weeks.
due. Rent is due.
Let's do the free ride is over. Time to get a job.
Oh,
Job. You can be a dog catcher or whatever else you want, but the rent is due the first month. But of course, his daughter graduating in a few days, so we'll be there for that. Very excited about that. So we'll be taking a break for a week, but we'll give you 2 weeks worth of stuff coming up at the end of the show. To kind of set you guys up, and we'll be back in a couple weeks to talk about some of those shows and what you should be watching. There's always something to watch. We're here every Sunday, let you know what is out there. Of course, subscribe and notification bell if you're new. And let's get started. Chewy, a lot of shows this week. The
Was
first
there?
one,
Was there?
and it's a lot of great shows. It's a lot of shows. There's a difference. There's always a lot of shows going on. But first one, Lord of the Flies. This was a BBC production on Netflix, 4-part series, of course, based off the 1953 book, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be part of the curriculum, I guess, when we grew up.
Long
Of
time ago.
course, a long time ago. I'm not even sure. I doubt it's in there now. But basically, with when the World War II era, boys who were being taken away for safety, plane crashes, and only survivors are the boys. I don't know, 20 something maybe of them, various ages from 6, 7 to early teens for the
I
most
mean,
part.
it's a wide range. It's a wide range, right? Of
Wide range,
ages.
right? So now the boys have to find a way to survive, and of course, it's kind of a referendum on savagery and what would happen if we go unchecked. The civility, but things just don't last even on the island, even amongst boys. So it kind of tells that story. Chew, your thoughts on this 4-part series there?
Uh, I thought it was okay. I mean, I, I don't know. I mean, I just wish they would take a different approach, right? Because we've had a couple movies, maybe. I know at least, definitely at least one.
There's been one movie,
Um,
maybe 2, some shows, maybe I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
And I think the material needs to be refreshed a bit, and to just literally give me a complete. I mean, like I said, every scene I remember from the movie, literally, right, or from reading the book, and so there is no modernization. There's no changing the approach a little bit. I mean, I understand, I mean, the overall theme, right? What would happen if you strip away society, right? But when you do it with kids who are and I understand the point they're trying to make in the 50s, right? Just using the kids as allegories for society in general. But it's an outdated theme, to be quite honest, at least in my opinion, right? Like I said, this was written 1950s. It was different era, different time by far, especially almost 75 years later, right? And how much things have advanced, and it just needs a fresh spin or more modern approach to telling that story, right? And this is very simplified, not a whole lot, not it's just lacking. If you can make a series, you gotta dive deep, man. Don't just make it a superficial retelling of a book, which essentially it's so short. It's really more of a short story compared to today's the length of today's novel. So that's how I feel about it, right? Like I said, it wasn't terrible, but I was expecting something more, something new, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, that was gonna be my exact thoughts. To be honest with you, on the same page here. Listen, it's a fine show. It's a good retelling of the original story, right? So if you're unfamiliar with it, I guess. But yeah, I kept thinking, man, they really should have modernized this, right? And in today's times, and what would that look like? The same basic things could have been left there, right? Just done differently. The kids a little bit more aware now than they were probably back then, for sure. When we grew up, they have more information at a young age. I don't even more interesting, right? They really were taking that
Yeah.
take of
I,
it,
I,
but
I, I think the big issue I have it is that just maybe I have an issue with the theme because with every show that we see, especially now, right? Any end of world apocalypse, virus, zombies,
1,000 of them, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You get the same thing. Society collapses and it's the end of the world. It's every man for himself, right? Literally.
Yeah. Listen, we've seen it even like we mentioned that I joked that this Yellow Jackets had which is, I always say it's kind of Lord of the Flies,
Yeah.
but it was kind of the same thing what they turned to, right? So for the most part,
Well, I,
but
I I think Yellow Jackets, as a news comparison, does a better job of at least trying
oh,
to
it does,
explain
it does,
because
yeah,
they're trying to survive, right? And obviously, we see this how the story has progressed over those 3 seasons, but this is just it makes it very black, everything very black and white,
no,
right?
for
All
sure,
these
yeah,
shows,
I agree,
The
yeah,
Last of Us, or Walking Dead, the whole world collapses and like we go back to cavemen, essentially. It's
yeah, it's a little, their approach is outdated. Like I said, it's based, they stuck too much to the source material.
yes.
At the end, there could have been something inspired by Lord of the Flies, but listen, I still it was fine. It's not a bad show. It's just again, if you unfamiliar with the book and you're interested, I guess, and give it a spin, or you're a big fan of the book,
Yeah.
sure, and expect exactly what the book gives you
Pretty
for the most
much.
part, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so nothing great out of there for sure. Next one up, we got season 2 of the Citadel, of course, on Prime, returning with of course, Rob Stark. I always forget his name in real life. He's Rob Stark. Who cares who he is in real life? Priyanka Jonas, of course, who's kind of carved a niche in this kind of action role for her, and she's good at it. Not much. Stanley Tucci, of course, taking a break from Wayne Prada with the Devil and taking a little time in the Citadel. So good for him, right? He's eating. Of course, first one is just Citadel is an organization created to monitor the other organizations, spies, and make sure everything runs accordingly. And there was a mole; they were all assassinated, but a few of them now they're remaining on the run, trying to figure out, who did it and why, and et cetera, et cetera. Just picking up with the events of the first season. True, your thoughts on season 2 so far? I think it's 6 episodes. If I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was seven, well, 6, 7, whatever.
6 or 7.
I'm
Oh,
actually, I mean, it was such a long time, right?
it's been a
I
while.
think we
Yeah.
mentioned, when the original came out. This is produced, directed, written by the Russo brothers in some fashion. I saw them correct there a couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had two pseudo spin-offs that were
Yeah,
okay,
man. Yeah, man.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely better than those spin-offs, but sure, because it continues the original story. I'm actually enjoying it. I mean, there's a couple of characters that's very funny. Take a very I guess comedic spin on some of the relationship and stuff, and the constant backstabbing, to say the least, right? And so that's the theme of this season, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's not bad. I think I enjoy it more than Lord of the Flies, whatever it's worth.
I mean, it's a different kind of show. I mean, it's fine. It's a spy show. The tone's kind of all over the place with the show, but it's fine. I mean, if you like the first season, I think you'll dig this. Right,
Yeah.
that's the best thing I can say about it. If you didn't see the first one, this is not a show I say go back and watch. There's other better kind of thriller spy shows, of this ilk everywhere. This is one of the top ones, and it really could have been, right. It's a very shiny show. I'll give it that much. Well produced and all that, but it's fine. I enjoyed it for what it is. You know, it moves really well. It's fast. It just, I don't know. It lacks any real tension's not quite there sometimes. I don't know. I'm not. You don't get into it as much. You're just kind of watching it to watch it for me. Anyway, but it's fine. Again, this is really made for the fans of the first season. Ultimately, and that's not a bad thing. Next one up, I'll let you take this one. Is I don't have stars. Is Amadeus got released.
No, don't be so
Uh,
cheap and get stars, dude.
you gotta draw the line somewhere. This sand in front of you for a reason. And
You
sometimes
can
the
get
line
rid of
must be
Peacock.
drawn.
I tell you that right now, dude.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this one, of course, Mozart, Amadeus, of course, was a film. I loved them way back in '86. I'm not sure, Chewie, can tell me what this is in terms of this being more like a Amadeus film or more of a real life telling of his story,
No, no, no.
Chewie?
This is not a biopic.
Okay.
This takes exactly like the movie as far as they're both based on the play that was written. So this is
Okay.
a fictionalized story and taking a historic character or a character from history, right? But the interactions, the things, the drama is all for I think from everything I've seen is completely fictionalized. So like just like the movie, right? It wasn't a retelling of his life. Obviously, we touched on it where yeah, they get the major points, right? He was born, he was a prodigy, some of the things, the events, people he encountered, but everything else in between is just completely someone's imagination, right? Not like a what if, but getting pretty close.
Yeah, that's fair.
um, yeah, and so this series is literally it's based off that same play, right? So
Okay.
you see if you ever seen the movie, obviously it's an older movie, right? Of 1986, so what 30, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Great movie, still holds up, right? I mean, excellent movie, great acting, but you see two things that are based on the same story and two different takes and approaches of telling that story, right? um and so that may be a problem because I love that movie so much,
Yeah.
right? And for me it's hard to separate the movie from this. It's 40 years different. I like some of the things that they did. They've changed. They've made Mozart not so much a caricature because I mean when you first introduce in the movie, all you hear is that laugh,
Yeah.
that laugh, right? And again, that might have been completely fictionalized because who knows if you really like that, right? And here you get a more toned down, more grounded, presentation of the character. An actor who's playing. The actor is not known to me, so it's obviously someone fresh. The Salieri character is played by Paul Bettany, right? And you see
Oh,
some
okay.
other actors that you've seen from other British shows and dramas, like I think the Emperor is the guy from the what's that show uh the God damn, it's the one that we like that has the ambassador in England, right? She moved there. The husband used to be the ambassador. Now he's just the husband.
Oh, the diplomat.
Diplomat. Thank you. Yeah. So the emperor is the British prime minister. So like I say, you see
Okay.
some people that you've seen from other shows, right?
Gotcha.
But but you see like some things that happen in movies like and you see them here, right, told a little bit differently, right? Because obviously I never saw the play, so you see some very noticeable differences and some subtle differences. Some things better, some things not as good. Obviously the movie was 220, 240 if the director's cut, and this is going to be a 6 8 part series, so there's definitely more time to develop, especially when we're going to get to the relationship with the father. I think so there's going to really be a big part of this and that drama where the movie was part of it, but it was you only could do so much in 2 hours, right?
Right.
Versus eight. So it's definitely stands on its own. I think I like it. One thing I loved about the movie was the music. I mean that the music hit. They picked certain scores at certain scenes and this played well. From the very beginning, there's the things that stick out. And so this was a little bit lacking in this first episode, but they ended it with one of his great pieces. I'm like, okay, that you got to integrate that. You can't just
Of course.
leave that out. But they're definitely different approach as far as how they're telling that story, the relationships, the what's going on, more of him as a person versus just a laughing whatever. Right? Again, understanding this is being told through the perspective of one character, right? So he's retelling what he did, his story, right, versus kind of presenting it, in an independent way.
Okay. Well, I mean, I read some good reviews on it, so
Yeah,
I
no,
am
no, no.
curious.
It's
Yeah.
very well done. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
But if you're a big fan of the movie, you can't help but compare and contrast.
No. Yeah.
Oh, the movie did this way, and I'm seeing it this way. The
It's human
character is
nature.
played. You
It is what
know,
it is.
let me put it this way. I think you remember in the first scene, he was training an opera singer who he was, I guess, sort of in love with, right?
Right. Talia algo así.
And in this one, and he's actually married. Celery is actually married here, right? So, like I say, there's differences that you're presenting, and he doesn't have a relationship. Mozart doesn't really get with her, not in the way that it's shown in the movie, right? When he presents his girlfriend, the girlfriend doesn't come into play till a little bit later. So, like I said, little subtle differences that kind of really give you a chance to more exploring the characters versus just making them two dimensional.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a do a lot with this property for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm curious how it progresses from then on. Let's go to Netflix again. Legends dropping 6 episodes. I think it's a limited series, inspired by true events or whatever the case is, taking place in the early '90s in the UK. There was a huge drug problem, and I guess I think Margaret Thatcher was in reign at the time.
Yeah.
And administration. So basically, there's a team created from the customs office, and they were tasked to see where they can solve this drug issue, coming to the ports of the UK. And of course, the people they got were all non officers or had any prior background and kind of undercover work, and they just kind of threw them in the fire after a quick training to see what they could do. And obviously now they're trying to infiltrate a couple of the gangs there who are in charge of the drug, of course, cartels, if you will. True, your thoughts on this 6-parter?
I really like this, man. This is a good show, man. Definitely, interesting. However much of this is true, it's very, very interesting, right? You take a bunch of folks who are not really police officers, even customs, right? So technically
Not,
pseudo law enforcement, but
I
not
guess, not the
not
same,
not
sure.
not in the front lines of doing drug deals, doing undercover work, right?
Right.
And so how this came about to try to tackle the what I guess one of the issues with opium and whatnot, and I guess early '90s, mid '90s, whenever this takes place. So I really like it a lot. It's really really well done, man. A lot of good action, good pacing, good acting, all around good story.
Yeah, I was surprised at this big time. I thought I really was like, just a run of the mill Netflix kind of show, right? It's better than that. It's really good. Like I really am enjoying this a lot. And I've seen 4 thus far. Get into it, and I love this is not your typical. We've seen this, on the cover. We've seen it 1,000 times. We get it, but taking this premise, whether it's real or not, whatever. But the idea of these people who are just regular folks trying to do something better with their lives, right? Essentially, is what it is. And again, throwing the fire and how they react, especially the one guy who is the loner, right? I thought he's really good. Yeah, and it progresses really well. It's very compelling. It's well done. Great pacing, right about that. I really enjoyed this one. I'm surprised. I
Mm.
really thought it was me like, all right, but it's not. It's a legitimate, really good show.
No, no,
Like,
no, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's really really
yeah.
good.
It's really good. It's really well done. You're engaged from the beginning. It really did a really
Mhm.
good job of introducing these characters. So I like that a lot. So this is definitely put. I don't know. They say based on true events. That could mean 1,000 things,
I mean,
ultimately.
well,
But I'm sure they don't that way.
some of the major point.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe that
I'm sure
how they
that.
team together. Maybe maybe the lack of training. Maybe that didn't happen, but they're trying to emphasize a certain point,
Sure. I mean, I think
a
taking a
certain theme,
custom,
right?
I'm pretty sure that part's true. You can't, just make that up like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's interesting, right? Take people who have like, no experience and like, okay, well, here you go. This is what you have to do. And legends refers to their backstories, right? Their legend, what they should stick to when they're amongst the criminals and all that. Really well done. Really surprised by this. On the contrary, on Peacock, we got a 9-episode run of M.I.A. This show here, co-creators of Ozark. And I guess the wrong creator did this show. It should have brought the both creators of Ozark, I guess, or the full creators of Ozark. So this one here, we got a young girl who on the keys of the family and all that. We got, of course, what's this guy from The Office? I always forget. Roy, of course.
Oh,
So he left Scranton, went down to the Keys. Good for him. Now he's has this family own like a dock and have like tourism, in the Everglades, I guess. But they on the low, they are drug runners, right? Basically, been doing it for years, and work for a particular organization, and they're briefly led by the legend James Edwards, almost, of course, of Miami Vice fame and Stand and Deliver. But unfortunately, I won't spoil anything, whatever. But events occur that lead them all to get killed, and stuff for the daughter, who now is hell bent on seeking revenge and finding out who this organization is, and trying to take everyone out who is responsible for the whole family's death. The first episode I liked. I was like, okay, I like where this is going, because it's just built as a revenge story, right? Which is what it is. But the second, third episode, I'm like, where's the revenge? It seems almost felt soap opera-ish at times. I just could not get a revenge. Like, I understand what's going here. It's 9 episodes, simple. John Wick told this dog, this dance. That's all you end up. But now it's like introducing all these characters and even trying to get into the whole drug thing. Nobody cares about these guys. We want to see the comeuppance, and I'm out. There's no comeuppance. I'm out. Chewy.
I didn't even bother starting. I had to make cuts.
Oh,
and obviously
that's good.
It's been a busy week, and this is going to be another busy week. And so, like you said, sacrifice.
Yeah.
I think I made the good choices in picking the show that I wanted to see, and said this has got to come off the list.
Yeah, it's not good. It's oh god, I couldn't.
It's Peacock, dude. I mean, come on.
I mean, listen, Peacock's done here and there. Not a lot, but I mean, every so often.
But that's the problem.
For sure, we get more of this, or the miniature wife, or something like ponies.
But it's a good idea.
Was solid, and this is just not ponies. It's not nowhere near as good. It's just it just doesn't work for hard pass. Last one, Unconditional. But
it's national because it takes place also in Russia.
Well, it takes place, but I think it's a show producing it. I think
the language is Hebrew, so yes, you're correct.
Right. But yeah, it takes place obviously. It takes place the mom at the airport to get a young daughter for selling, distributing drugs, or whatever the case is. Captures penalties, and I'll wait through the media. She feels her daughter is not touching on. So, drop your thoughts on this.
I'm enjoying it, right? They do fairly good general shows, right? They have ones that are okay, but they had a couple of is very spy driven, right? Political dramas, and so this is not bad. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Got to a couple episodes, gives me the lay of the land, the story, and I think I know where this is going, but I'm interested to see how it gets there.
I'm concerned about Apple here. Apple's becoming, and it's not necessarily a negative, but becoming more in the ways of Netflix. We love Netflix, of course, but Apple had this prestige to it, right? They're dropping one new show a week or a couple weeks for them, and they're usually high quality show. Now they're just dropping a bunch, and we're getting a lot of okay stuff. So like El Fanning now is okay. It's not a show. None of these are bad shows. They're with the drugs and the angle that's going on there, and an episode it's not what we used to seeing from a little bit of it's on Instagram, which we'll get to.
I agree.
But at least another show like that was something kind of separate, and now it's well made, produced. I'm actually enjoying the showing class of a bunch of them.
You didn't think of a but we're seeing more of these. The women.
It was like what Netflix does.
So, I mean, the last one was pretty good, actually. I mean, got another one coming out in a month. I'm like, oh, here we go.
From whatever, not art, but this was my friend. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Yeah, true. Let's get on to the next show. The Jeopardy. That's what. But yeah, 12 we do. 12. That's fine, dude. The series, this is weird.
The punishers. One episode. You don't have to cut. Get cut. Let's see.
They wrong screen here. Oops, little delays here. My apologies. And then the 14th we got Welcome to Wrexham. Of course, the reality show. Ryan Reynolds and his soccer team. Very underrated show. It's very cool. This one for sure. On the 14th, coming back for its fifth season. I forget how. I think it's 4. I don't even know.
Fourth season.
Yes.
Okay,
it's been a while. Then we got on the 15th. We got Berlin. Season 2, of course, Berlin, one of the main characters in Money Heist. Very popular show on Netflix. I enjoyed that first season. It was solid. I expect nothing else from this one. I hear Money Heist is coming back, by the way. I saw a trailer yesterday. So, yeah, it was like a trailer shot of the scenes from the first one, and it's returning. Some of that at the wall and the two and
all the other spin-off. Yellow
his baby, if you will. So the week after that, not as big a week. Oops, give me 1 second here. Just having some
Amateur hour, dude.
Difficulties.
Let's go.
To tell you, man, it's Mother's Day and this thing's mad for some reason. On Apple Plus, we got Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. This is again, this reeks of
This
that.
is, yeah, I don't know. This could be,
You
yeah,
know,
that mediocre mid level Apple show now
yeah,
that they're churning
exact.
out,
And it's just a lot of shows on Apple, and I was like, give us.
or sci-fi, but definitely has that scare element, right?
Yeah, and I'm glad they kept the show in the wraps in terms of what's going on. So I'll be
Yes.
happy to see how this unravels. And then the 21st of May, we got getting ready for the World Cup. We got the James Rodriguez, of course,
Hamas.
Colombian star. Superstar soccer player who, cut his teeth in the
Legend.
2012 World Cup, right? When he first made his
14,
yes, 14,
2014.
14. Okay, when he rose to stardom, probably one of the most well known, maybe the best common player of all time. Am I wrong in saying that? You're more apt to know that than I would.
I mean, he's
I mean the most
definitely the most
popular, right?
polarizing in personality. Well, maybe a little bit personality. I mean, he hasn't done anything
No, no,
bad,
I don't.
but
Yeah,
it seems like with at club level, he's had issues with ownership, management, you know, and for whatever reason, right? There's no doubt, at least after the World Cup. Before that, I mean, he had a pretty steady rise, right?
hmm
Solid, solid to great. Came out of the junior ranks, early on, did the Junior World Cup, right? And did great, led that team, and then exploded at the 2014. And then his career has been, like I said, he's played for the major team, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. I mean, these are the creme de la creme as far as international club soccer, right? But then now this last time he had a resurgence for here a couple of years ago here in the U.S., right? Took him to the semifinals at Copa America,
yeah,
and then the last couple of years it's just been a struggle to find a team, and so I think he's officially retired. I mean, he's playing one more match with Minnesota, going to the report to Colombian duty and calling it quits. So
right.
this is his swan
His,
song.
his last run, right? For the
Yes,
most
this
part.
is it.
Exactly. So listen, he was fun to watch as a player. So I'm interested in look
Oh
at
yeah,
getting ready for World
there's
Cup.
no
Yeah,
doubt that the
yeah.
talent, right? I mean,
Of course,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
I
Talent
mean,
wise,
yeah.
it's as good as any we see in that kind of stage. Right? I don't think Colombian players are really popped in the world stage as has James
Well, I
Rodriguez.
mean, Lucho Diaz is the exception. I mean, taking Bayern to the semis, right? I mean, that guy has been everywhere.
Fair
He's
enough.
been everywhere. He's
Yeah,
gone. Liverpool and now
yeah.
Bayern let him
That's
go to
fair.
Bayern.
Yeah.
He's been, I mean, A plus, no doubt, no question. Nothing about that. What he's done on and off the field, it has been stellar for him. So, like I
For sure.
said, James, not maybe did he open more doors? Absolutely, because there's a bunch of Colombians in Premier, in La Liga, and Bundesliga, and even Serie A, right? So I think those are like the four majors, really. You maybe throw in French league, maybe I'm not sure. I mean, that's very top heavy league.